Evil, implacability, lack of empathy, and causing harm and destruction.
If you haven't already, watch part 1, and here's the tier list so far. Take it away, funny text-to-speech guy.
Bill Cipher. Bill Cipher is the main antagonist of Disney's Gravity Falls. He is a chaotic and sinister nightmare demon who's literally from the nightmare realm. He's a floating yellow triangle resembling the Eye of Providence, who's originally from the second dimension. Becoming bored of living there, he destroyed his entire homeworld to escape into ours. Bill is a master manipulator, cruel, and obsessed with spreading chaos. When Bill Cipher escapes the nightmare realm, he wields near-limitless, godlike power in the real world. While trapped in the nightmare realm, he can observe but not physically interact with the real world. He manipulates people in our realm by sealing deals and can possess a vessel through a pact, though he's limited by the vessel's constraints. Bill wants to merge the nightmare realm with our realm to unleash a never-ending party under his rule. No laws, no restrictions, just him and his gang of lunatics causing anarchy throughout the universe. An example of his insanity is how he crashed 2 planets together to make them kiss each other and threw a nightmare realm prom. While he does have a very cynical sense of humor, all it does is display how unpredictable he is. To him, absolutely everything around him is a toy, and he's the sole child playing with all of them. And when he doesn't get what he wants, he bitches and cries. But at least he has standards as evil, unlike others.
It's time we do a little redecorating! I could really use a castle of some kind!
Gravitals. The Gravitals are the secondary antagonist species from All Tomorrows by C.M. Kosuman. Once human, they surrendered to the intergalactic racist species, the Q, who biologically modified them. Unlike other humans who were turned into abominations, completely unrecognizable. The Gravitals retained most of their human features due to them surrendering, but now looked like fucking villagers. With access to advanced technology left behind by the Q, their society crumbled as they became self-absorbed, believing themselves to be superior and the chosen ones. With an ego bigger than most streamers, they transferred their consciousness into mechanical bodies, becoming huge floating metal balls. The Gravitals achieved interstellar travel, colonizing planets and waging war on other post-human species. They block out suns with massive sails to carry out surprise orbital bombardments, causing the extinction of several species. They also enslaved the bug facers, turning them into subjects for various roles like pets, laborers, and living art. The Gravitals viewed organic life as inferior, considering genetic alteration like recycling trash. The Q genuinely thought they were doing humanity a favor. The Gravitals knew perfectly what they were doing. Darkseid. Darkseid is one of the main antagonists of the DC universe. A merciless, power-hungry son-of-a-bitch tyrant, he's a new god who rules over the hell-incarnate world, Apocalypse, and countless other conquered planets. Darkseid seeks to dominate all life using the anti-life equation, binding living beings to his will to remake the universe in his image. He subjects his population to slavery, forcing them to work in mines and killing them for the slightest disobedience. He punishes or kills his henchmen when they fail or question him. Darkseid possesses immense strength, speed, invulnerability, and immortality, paired with a genius intellect and mastery of strategy, makes him incredibly hard to defeat. He's so vile and dangerous that even Batman and Superman are willing to kill him, with this diabolical asswipe even trying at times to conquer the multiverse.
At last, the pitiful hope is extinguished. Will I end your life? Let's go.
Palpatine. Palpatine, this old nutsack, is the main antagonist of the Star Wars franchise. He is a powerful Sith Lord who manipulates the Clone Wars to rise to power as the ruler of the Galactic Empire. He is a master manipulator, hiding his dark, power-hungry nature behind a facade of kindness and diplomacy. While presenting himself as a compassionate and well-intentioned public figure, he is actually a malicious, cruel, and treacherous Sith Lord who seeks to control the galaxy at any cost. His ruthless ambition makes him not the best person to be around. He has no true loyalty to anyone, including his own minions, even if they served him well, as he didn't care for their well-being. I'm starting to pick up a theme with most of these guys. Palpatine uses others as pawns, throwing them away when they're no longer useful, and manipulates events to fuel his rise to power like modern politicians. Instigating conflicts seems like a hobby to him, and if he had a CV, it would have antagonizing the Jedis on it. His belief is that the ends justify any means, including manipulation, betrayal, and destruction. Palpatine was the most powerful Sith Lord, mastering Force lightning and foresight. Palpatine could drain the Force and even return from death by transferring his spirit into a clone. No empathy, no compassion. You could have been his friend since childhood, and if he saw you dying on the street, he'd walk right over you. He'd also laugh at you. Palpatine enjoys inflicting pain and suffering for shits and giggles. He represents true megalomania and pure, unfiltered evil. Democracy's destruction, unforgiving tyranny. He enjoys every second of causing suffering, instigating a whole war for his own gain, causing several genocides, losing his shit laughing at it.
Break me down with all of your hatred, and your journey towards the dark side will be complete.
Dio. Dio Brando is the first main antagonist of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure franchise. Dio grew up in a slum with a lousy fat-ass father who never supported him, around people who despised him before being adopted into the Joestar family. Dio always envied the Joestar family's wealth and prestige with hatred and wished to steal the family's fortune, even if it means killing them. Dio is an arrogant, cruel, and ambitious megalomaniac twat who ruthlessly seeks power, manipulating and discarding followers as mere tools. Here's a quick rundown of what happens when he first arrives. He deliberately attempted to make his new brother Jonathan's life as miserable as possible by kicking his dog Danny and attempting to gouge his eyes, spreading rumors about him to his friends, forcefully stealing the first kiss of his love interest. That dog he kicked? Oh yeah, and he also killed it. Charismatic and prideful, he enjoys taunting enemies or the innocent and asserting dominance. An example being when he zombified a woman and gleefully watched as she devours her infant child. Why? Because it's amusing to him. Apparently, Dio believes the real world is Grand Theft Auto because he once ordered someone to drive on a sidewalk full of pedestrians. Though largely ruthless, he occasionally shows rare favor to loyal allies, only to benefit him. Dio's disdain for others and hunger for control define him, renouncing his humanity by becoming a vampire. His abilities include supernatural physical strength, resilience, agility, stamina, flexibility, dexterity, and regeneration, with the drawback being he can't be under direct sunlight. His main goal is to achieve world domination and rule the world without any interference. He's responsible for most of the events of the JoJo story, with characters describing him as evil incarnate, with people in the story claiming he was born evil.
I reject my humanity!
Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan is the protagonist of the controversial light novel Reverend Insanity. In his previous life, Fang Yuan was an average-looking scholar. After transmigrating to the Goo world, he acquired the sovereign immortal body, transforming into an exceptionally good-looking young man with an angel-like countenance. He is brutally pragmatic, ruthlessly realistic, and obsessed with achieving immortality, tempered by coldness and indifference. He is unmoved by others and views people as stepping stones to his success. Deception, betrayal, and manipulation are mere tools for his goals. He wouldn't kill a child, right? No, he would. Actually, here's a list of deplorable random shit he has done. Used two twins as an ingredient, threw them inside a cauldron, and when they tried to jump out, he kicks them back in it, or when he forced a bear to eat a little girl. Fang Yuan is fine with eliminating millions and provoking massive conflicts. Comfortable with morally abhorrent depravities to grow stronger. Civil and composed in interactions, he ruthlessly exploits weaknesses with chilling efficiency, never hesitating to make grievous sacrifices. His vile acts in pursuit of godhood were so horrific that the novel was banned in China for its graphic content.
Life and death is nature's law.
Junko Enoshima. Junko Enoshima is the main antagonist of the Danganronpa franchise. She's a high school-aged malicious mastermind and leader of the terrorist group Ultimate Despair. She's obsessed with causing global misery to fuel her insane love for despair. She orchestrated the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, plunging the entire world into meaningless chaos, violence, and death. Junko's erratic behavior stems from her boring and mundane life, which lead to her craving despair for herself and others. She used her sister in order to spread more and more despair, started a killing game, all to just cause despair. She constantly switches personas to avoid boredom, with an attention span worse than the average person on TikTok. Her superhuman analytical abilities allow her to manipulate people and predict events, maximizing despair. Despite being completely insane, she knows the difference between right and wrong, but revels in doing wrong. Different from others on the list, she loves her friends and family, but would still kill them if it brought her more despair.
It's punishment time!
Scarlet King. Scarlet King is a major antagonist of the SCP Foundation series and is believed to be the most dangerous opponent in all of the canon. An ancient god representing the base and savage aspects of humanity, the Scarlet King opposes both science and technology and seeks to return things to times long past. The children of the Scarlet King treat him as a relentless, unbelievably powerful king. They seek to summon him into our universe to destroy the modern world so that times of old, ancient and feudal, will be brought back. He is said to be a terrorizing, ever-changing creature with a multitude of forms. Scarlet King declared war on all of creation, a war to last until the very end of existence. It also conquered various other gods, one of them being a goddess named Sana, whom it had forcibly married, and some other not-so-good things. Sana went on to to give birth to 7 daughters, each of whom Scarlet destined to carry a Leviathan. In his hunt for supremacy, he made the children of a nut powerless to fight against his mass destruction and extreme measures to his advantage. The Scarlet King has been portrayed as quite merciless and cunning, even going as far as destroying the fabric of reality itself, which is the Tree of Knowledge. Its powers are endless, ranging from reality distortion, the annihilation of worlds, to threatening the multiverse's existence. It can also tear through other dimensions, manipulate the memories of others, and feed on the negative emotions. The Scarlet King is related to SCP-231, the Seven Brides. All of them got impregnated and delivered different types of anomalies due to the cult. In most versions of the story, all but the last bride have delivered, and when the last one does, it is said that the Scarlet King will enter our world. Whereas the Lich aims to eradicate existence from reality, the Scarlet King wants to recreate reality in a way that aligns with his ideals, a brutal, archaic, and oppressive world order. Scarlet King is the essence of chaotic malevolence, with no redeeming qualities or moments of pragmatism, but still has a grand ambition, unlike AM, whose evil is entirely personal and driven by pure hatred.
He rose in her blood, and was from then on known as Shormosh Ordal, the Scarlet King.
Also, here's the full clip from Mia, my friend.
It is a pleasant to meet you, Dio Brando. Dio, what the fuck?